long time ago, in a classroom not so far away, there was a young schoolboy who had everything he could have ever wanted. Friends, kindergarten fame, and the really cool sneakers that glow up when you press a button on them. This kid was unbelievably wicked with his swagger, but one day, this swing of his would be tested. On this day, the young boy saw another boy, sitting alone, drawing in a coloring packet, constantly looking over at the other kids to see if he could play. Even though the boy with all the kindergarten swag in the world was already delved into a pretty intense game of family, he decided to walk over to the little boy, tell him his drawings were pretty killer, and invited him over to play family. A long time ago, this story happened in a classroom not so far away because it was in the elementary school. The boy with swagger did invite that lonely boy because that lonely kid was me, Matthew Keys. And that boy with the glowing shoes was my best friend, Connor Leschke. Connor, at this moment, displayed something called excellence, which some people may think means perfection. But excellence isn't perfection. Excellence is knowing that you can't be perfect, it's still striving to be the best that you can be. Now, Connor was being excellent at this moment, but he's not the only person who has been excellent. This entire class of 2022 has been excellent in their past, present, and will certainly be excellent in their futures as well. And just like Connor's tenure here, everyone here at this class of 2022 has been excellent. Now, as a blast of the past, who remembers the clip charts from elementary school? Because I know I do. Clip charts, if you don't know, were a form of representation to us young students of how behavior was in school, with good behavior, good habits, getting clip ups, while bad behavior, bad habits, getting clip downs. I remember Hannah Yeoman having quite possibly the best clip-up chart record my 7-year-old mind has ever seen. One specific memory I have with Hannah is that our class clipped down twice because students were yelling too much and being disruptive in the hallways and constantly clipped down to the orange zone. However, Hannah wasn't deterred. Even with some students' bad habits clouding our minds, Hannah showed off her good habits by being quiet when the teacher was talking, being polite to other students, and getting her work done, causing her to clip up 5 times to the pink zone of utter greatness. Her good habits caused her to be excellent that school day and showed every kid in the class what good behavior can lead to. Another example of excellent habits can be seen in 5th grade math league. While I was in math league, I found out that I was really bad at math. But there was one person who wasn't bad at math. In fact, he was great at it. His name is Samuel Coyle. Samuel, at that time, was like the Albert Einstein of 5th grade math. But he wasn't born like that. Instead, he worked for it. Hard work and habitual study in Samuel's math allowed him to become the Albert Einstein he was in 5th grade, and the Isaac Newton invented calculus kind of man he is today. Actually, he could probably invent math at this point. Anyways, his proven ability to work hard is why he shows excellence and why he's looked up to by his peers. Both Samuel and Hannah show how excellence starts with habits and how these habits can lead to success in the present. A second quality of excellence is doing good knowing that no one is looking. So I'll remind us of my first-hand account of Riley Keenan and Mrs. Otto back in 6th grade. In Mrs. Otto's room, many fun memories were created, but no other story beats the story arc of Mrs. Otto and Riley Keenan's friendship. Riley in 6th grade was an absolute goofball, and Mrs. Otto would always tell Riley to sit down, and even got to the point where Riley had to sit right next to Mrs. Otto in class. But little did they know that a sweet friendship was the blossom. Throughout their time together, both Riley and Mrs. Otto would grow closer together, reaching the pinnacle of their friendship. One day, Riley asked Mrs. Otto to be his Gatorade buddy. She, of course, said yes. Riley in 6th grade wanted Mrs. Otto to forgive him for his silly actions and decided to give her a token of friendship through Gatorade, not because someone told him to do it. Rather, he thought that it was the right thing to do for a teacher as awesome as Mrs. Otto. Another example of doing good without recognition comes from the king himself, Mr. Kenny Otto. Some wonder how Kenny got to be so huge, so strong, yet keep his incredibly adorable personality. But I think it comes from Kenny himself. Sure, you can lift weights to get huge and potentially break someone's neck after a speech because they called you adorable to well over 500 people. But for Kenny, it isn't just lifting weights. Kenny, since a young age, has set himself out to become not only physically stronger, but a better person in general. Through the early 4 o'clock wake-up calls, the long after-school practices, and even longer nights of schoolwork and farm work, Kenny has always done the impossible without wishing a single drop of recognition. Even after great feats, like beating Lake City 74-38, or getting first place individual at the FAE twice. Which makes him, quite possibly, the most humble, excellent person I've ever known. Yeah, sad. Kenny and his class of 22's future will likely shine bright because they also know another quality of excellence, being better than we were yesterday. After speaking about the king of homecoming, it would only be unfair to not speak about the queen, J.C. Winchell, and our fellow volleyball girls for showing a superb mindset of showing the third quality of excellence, getting better than they were yesterday. During homecoming, everyone was getting excited for Thursday night volleyball because it was against their hometown rival, Saprota Mazeppa. However, at a time when we should all be celebrating all the good times of senior year, we all saw a crushing blow where Cannon Falls girls lost to Zambroda 3-0 in a clean sweep. As a fan, it crushed me to see the girls defeated by an opponent they saw as beatable. But instead of keeping us down, this defeat built us up farther than these volleyball girls could have ever imagined. Come playoff times, every single volleyball girl, J.C., Lauren, Hallie, Bree, Emma, and Manny, came to play some volleyball. They played their hearts out every game to eventually play Zambroda once more in the section championship game. Quite possibly the most important games of their entire careers. And like any good custodians, they took up the brooms and swept Zambroda 3-0 as payback. Not only was this moment filled with greatness for our volleyball team, finally winning our first section championship and first appearance at state, they showed what it meant to be excellent. They showed that no matter how much life we did yesterday, better today. This idea of being better today than yesterday also applies to a very inspiring man who has reached a new height this senior year and will likely be reaching for the stars in the future. Whose favorite song is Every Day by Hayes Fellow, also known as Johnny Hudson? Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but that song really stinks. Sorry, Johnny. Now, to elaborate, this song itself is actually really good, and has a powerful milestone with it being Johnny's first released song. But Johnny isn't the type to be a one-hit wonder. Instead, Johnny has constantly been improving his musical skill to the point of a fine diamond, and exemplifies the third quality of excellence of being better than he was yesterday. His latest songs are a triumph to his newfound knowledge of music and show why he's excellent in the way he makes music, because he knows that he should be better than he was back in 6th grade, last year, last week, and even yesterday. Johnny shows what improving oneself truly means in the game of life. From Hannah's outstanding behavior in 1st grade, to Johnny's musical talents, and from Kenny's unwanted recognition, to the triumph of this year's volleyball team, this class of 2022 is a prime example of what it means means to be excellent. With our habits of success, our doing like no one is looking mentality, and our want to constantly be better, excellence is a quality that describes everyone in this class of 2022. But we couldn't have done it alone. The class of 2022 would like to thank everyone who has got us here to graduate. For we could not be excellent without the excellence shown by our parents, teachers, coaches, administrators, paras, bus drivers, custodians, and so many more school helpers. Without help from Mr. Vanderhoof, for example, this speech would have likely been worse than my freshman year combined speech about toilet paper and its effects on Taiwan. Thank you to everyone who helped make this class of 2022 so excellent in every way. But like the end of high school, I must end my speech about these excellent few. But remember this, kind of like Connor and I from family in kindergarten, you all are my family. And I will always love and be proud of every single one of you, no matter what. Thank you, and may the force be with you.